I'm Kai Xin. I'm a data scientist at Lazada. That's my core job. I'm also the co-founder of Data Science SG, the biggest data science community in Singapore. Well, a lot of things. So in terms of like building stuff, we are talking about some of the very big systems that for the company, for my main work, it's by building kind of like big data science models, you can say, for millions of products and millions of users across Southeast Asia. But that's for the technical side. So there are two parts of my life. The first is really my work at Lazada. My second part is where I try to build a data community in Singapore. So if we're talking about building, is different. So one is more of the technical part of kind of creating program that a lot of people can use and benefit from. Another is really building a community to connect people, connect ideas, where hopefully we can like get the data people in Singapore and the region to kind of like come together and like build new ideas, build new stuff. When I was like in primary school, we started it was for interest. I first touched computers through gaming. I played a lot of games through most of my adult life. From there, we kind of like diverged towards simple things like building my own website, then helping out with some of the school projects. Eventually, it really struck me as an interest towards college. The issue I had previously was I find it very hard to connect some of the programming theories, some of the techniques we learn theoretically to something that can help people. But once I start seeing how infusing data into programming, and how that can really change how people behave, how it can really help change how people interact with their online world, and that's really kind of like piqued my interest towards the data programming kind of field. And then after that comes the study of mathematics and all this, and it really becomes more scientific to me that I like a lot. So it's not just programming for the sake of programming. You are doing something hopefully based on science, based on some understanding of like be it human psychology or be it like consumer preference, and you let data tell the story. And programming is just a way to bring ideas on paper, or ideas that you discuss with the business stakeholders into the real world, and to test it, to affirm that is our hypothesis correct. And if it isn't, we are making wrong predictions or making wrong assumptions, how we can change that. So this whole process excites me. Is kind of like seeing something I can bring to life, I can create and bring to life, and that's really fun. Job-wise, people always hype about data scientists as the big thing, or they do a lot of interesting things. Okay, maybe I'll take a few steps back. Starting from the beginning, my background, when my first job, I would say, is an intern at SAS. So SAS is like a software vendor. So I spent my first couple of years in SAS, EMC, Greenplum. And then I went to kind of like Kutepa Hospital. So I went to hospital environment where I analyzed the data. So what does a data scientist do, and how do people so-called become a data scientist? For me, I think it's to have foundation. Like in my case, I have foundation in hardware and software. And then after I have a real life experience of applying that knowledge in the healthcare field, in a hospital where I try to build dashboards or build like data models we focus a lot on like healthcare for the elderly, to kind of help the elderly kind of like preemptively predict who needs the most help from the hospital, be it like we send nurse to home visits, or kind of flag them out for like checkups and stuff. That is the analyst part. But when we talk about data scientists, what exactly we do is to build on top of the software, the hardware, and the analysts to analyzing reports to generate systems. So it's a kind of like, think of it like tier system. You start really from the basics, then you start moving towards like understanding the trends in the business, and then as a data scientist, your job is to really build large systems. Like in my case, like we build like recommenders, we build like some of the things that reach out to millions of people, millions of products across the Southeast Asia region. Think of it as like a big bunch of computers running some algorithms, running some formulas. So that is the cool part. The not so cool part is actually I spend a lot of time interacting with business owners. The process is because it's data science, so there's scientific so-called process behind it where we get feedbacks from the business owners. For example, like business who have a lot of like insights about how they want to segment the customers, how they want to target the customers, and transferring those business insights into formulas, into mathematics, and then teaching the computer to ingest the mathematics through coding, and then doing it themselves. So we are, in a way, we are teaching computers to be smart about it, to recommend products to people, just like how I recommend a movie to you. If I know your preference, I know that you like to watch Marvel movies. I know you like Batman, you like Spider-Man. Okay, then maybe there's a new movie coming out. What movie just came out recently? Guardians just came out. Then there's a new Spider-Man movie. Yeah, you probably like that. Yeah. So as a friend, I know your preference. And imagine you are teaching a computer to be your friend. So a computer will be your friend, and then the computer will take in what you have been watching, what you've been buying on Lazada, for example, and giving you feedbacks. Oh, you might like this. So all this behind is mathematics. All this behind is coding. But to the customer, it's just like a friend, like telling you, maybe you like this, check this out, it's cool. So that's what data science do, is we kind of like transform the business knowledge through the hardware and software, through the mathematics, through the coding, and once it reach the consumer, it's just something that's simple, intuitive for people to use. And that's fun. I mean, this whole process of transformation is fun.